All right, so get ready because today we're diving into something a little different, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be exploring A Course in Miracles.
Okay.
But before you think we've gone like totally new agey on you,
Right.
we're specifically going to be looking at Chapter 1, Section 2
Okay.
on Atonement and Miracles.
Wait, what?
Now, I'll be honest, it can sound a bit abstract,
Yeah.
but I think we can break it down
Okay.
in a way that's relatable and even fun.
I like fun.
Yeah, so think less like church sermon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And more like that mind-blowing conversation
There's-
you have at your favorite coffee shop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you don't have to worry if you've never even, opened A Course in Miracles before.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack the big ideas, and the source material actually uses some pretty clever
Yeah.
everyday analogies
It does, it does.
that make it surprisingly easy to grasp.
See, that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
It's like they throw this philosophical curveball
Mhm.
and then bam, they hit you with this analogy that just makes it all click.
Right.
Like, remember in Men in Black when they use that flashy thing
Oh, yeah.
to erase memories?
Yeah,
The
those-
source material talks about atonement, kind of like that.
Hmm.
It's like a magic eraser for the mind.
It is a brilliant analogy.
Right.
Instead of dwelling on punishment or guilt,
Yeah.
atonement is about recognizing those errors in thinking
Okay.
and gently letting them go.
So it's not about erasing who you are,
Right.
but more like cleaning the lens so you can see your true self more clearly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So it's less about being punished for messing up
Exactly.
and more about acknowledging that those missteps weren't really the real you.
Yes,
It's like hitting Control-Alt-Delete on a mental glitch.
precisely. It's recognizing that those errors don't define you.
Okay.
A Course in Miracles emphasizes that your core, your essence, is inherently good.
Okay.
Atonement is about realigning with that goodness.
I'm digging this mental spring cleaning vibe. So if atonement is the magic eraser, then where do miracles fit into all of this?
Okay.
Are we talking about parting the Red Sea stuff?
Uh-huh.
Because I don't have Moses' number on speed dial?
No worries, you won't need a staff or sandals for these miracles.
Okay.
The source material describes them as sparks of kindness.
Okay.
Think of those seemingly small actions that has a ripple effect, like dropping a pebble in a pond.
Okay. So less grand illusion and more about those everyday moments of grace.
Yeah.
Like helping someone with a flat tire
Uh-huh.
or maybe just letting someone merge in traffic
Sure.
without unleashing a symphony of honking.
Exactly. Or think of it like in The Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Samwise Gamgee isn't wielding a magical sword or anything,
Right.
but his unwavering loyalty and simple acts of kindness have a huge impact on Frodo's journey.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So these everyday acts are considered miracles because they remind us of the good that's already within us.
Yeah.
Like we're all secretly superheroes just waiting for the right moment to flex our kindness muscles.
That's a great way to put it. These acts are powerful because they hit a reset button
Okay.
for both people involved, reminding them of their shared humanity and inherent goodness.
Okay.
And the more we practice these acts, the
Mhm.
more we start to see them everywhere,
Yeah.
like a chain reaction of positivity.
Okay. I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy inside already.
Good.
So we've got atonement,
Okay.
which is like hitting refresh on our minds,
Mm-hmm.
and miracles, which are these little bursts of kindness that remind us of our inherent goodness.
Yes.
But how do they work together?
Mm.
Are they like peanut butter and jelly, Batman and Robin?
I'd say they're more like a team effort,
Okay.
like a giant group project,
Okay.
where everyone contributes to a shared goal.
Huh?
The source material actually uses this group project analogy to explain how we all contribute to the process of atonement.
Ooh. I like where this is going.
Yeah.
So it's like we're all in this together, striving for some kind of collective enlightenment,
You could say that.
like a cosmic flash mob of kindness.
That's a fun way to visualize it. And there's even the idea of a guide
Okay.
overseeing the project, offering support and stepping in when things get tough.
Okay.
Think of it like Dumbledore in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Wise and always there to nudge things in the right direction.
So each time we choose kindness, each time we forgive someone, even ourselves,
Yeah.
it's like adding our piece to this giant collaborative puzzle
Yeah.
of making the world a better place.
Exactly. It's a beautiful idea, isn't it?
It is.
Each act of kindness, big or small, ripples outwards,
Uh-huh.
strengthening this collective understanding that we're not alone
Okay.
and that mistakes can be undone.
Okay, now you're making me want to go out and do something nice for a stranger.
That's the spirit.
Maybe buy the person behind me in line their coffee.
That's a good one.
I can already picture the heartwarming montage set to uplifting music.
Haha. That's what's so exciting about this idea.
Yeah.
It empowers us to see that even our seemingly small actions can contribute to something much larger than ourselves.
All right, I'm officially on board with this cosmic group project.
Good.
It's like we're all in this giant escape room together,
Okay.
and the key to freedom is choosing love and kindness.
I like that.
But speaking of big door, the source material also mentions this idea of heaven and earth becoming one.
Right.
Now, I haven't checked the news lately, but are we talking about actual planets merging here?
Not to worry, no need to pack your bags for a celestial relocation just yet.
Okay, good.
It's not about planets colliding, but more about a shift in our perception.
Okay.
Imagine, if you will, Neo, finally seeing the code in the Matrix.
Okay.
It's not that the physical world changes, but our understanding of it does.
So less about physical places disappearing and more about how we see those places.
Yeah.
And more importantly, how we see ourselves in relation to them.
Exactly.
Like suddenly realizing the world is actually a giant game of where's Waldo? And we're all just trying to find our place in the picture.
That's a great way to think about it. The separation we perceive between heaven and earth, between ourselves and others, starts to dissolve.
Okay.
When that happens, we start to experience a sense of unity and connection that transcends our usual limited view.
Okay, I can see how that would be a game changer.
It is.
So how do we make this shift? Do we need to like download a special app or something?
It's not about technology, but about recognizing a truth that's already within us.
Okay.
The source material describes us as being wholly lovable and wholly loving. This isn't some cheesy self-help mantra.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging our inherent worthiness.
Okay.
That spark of goodness that's always there, even when we forget about it.
Okay. Wholly lovable. And about that. I've definitely had those days where lovable is the last word I'd use to describe myself.
Right.
It's more like hangry, sleep deprived, or maybe accidentally wore mismatched socks kind of day.
I think we've all been there.
You-
But that's exactly the point.
Okay.
We get so caught up in the day-to-day dramas,
Yeah.
the perceived flaws and imperfections, that we lose sight of the bigger picture.
So it's like forgetting you have $1 million in the bank and stressing over a parking ticket.
Right.
We focus on the little things and miss the big picture of our inherent worth.
That's a perfect analogy. We're all walking around with this incredible wealth of love and goodness within us.
Yeah.
And yet we often act as if we're bankrupt. Atonement, in a way, is about remembering that we're already millionaires of the heart.
Okay, now you're making me want to check my inner bank account more often. But how do we access that wealth? How do we tap into that wholly lovable part of ourselves that seems to get buried under laundry piles and to-do lists?
That, my friend, is where forgiveness comes in.
Forgiveness always a tough one.
It can be.
I feel like I'm constantly getting things wrong, both big and small.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to forgive myself, let alone other people who might be driving me a little crazy?
Well, imagine you're wandering through the desert,
Okay.
parched and desperate for a drink.
Yeah.
Then someone offers you a cup of cool, refreshing water. That's what forgiveness is like, according to the source material.
Okay, you're speaking my language now. I can practically feel the relief of that cool water on a scorching day.
Right. So when you forgive, it's like taking that much-needed sip,
Yeah.
quenching your thirst for peace and releasing yourself from the burning heat of anger or guilt.
Okay.
But here's the amazing part.
What's that?
You then offer that same cup to someone else, allowing them to experience that same relief.
Okay.
It's not about condoning actions, but about freeing yourself and inspiring others to do the same.
Whoa, forgiveness is a 2-for-1 deal.
It is.
So it's not just about feeling better myself, but about creating a ripple effect
Yes.
of freedom and understanding.
Exactly.
Kind of like those pay-it-forward chains.
Exactly. Forgiveness breaks down the walls of separation and reminds us that we're all interconnected. It's about choosing compassion over judgment, grace over resentment.
Okay, now I'm really starting to see the magic in this whole forgiveness thing.
Good.
It's like we're all holding these cups of cool water, just waiting to share them with each other and create a giant oasis of peace and understanding.
I love that image.
But let's be real, sometimes it feels impossible to even lift that cup, let alone offer it to someone else.
I hear you. Holding on to anger or resentment can feel like a heavy weight we carry around.
It does.
But the source material offers this powerful analogy of smudged glasses.
Okay.
It suggests that our perception, like a dirty lens, can distort how we see ourselves and others. Forgiveness is like cleaning those glasses, allowing us to see more clearly.
Oh, I love that visual.
Yeah.
So forgiveness is less about condoning actions and more about cleaning our perception lenses.
Right.
So we can see the situation and the people involved with more clarity and compassion.
Precisely. And when we can see more clearly, we naturally act with more understanding and kindness. It's like the golden rule, but with a twist.
Oh.
It's not just about treating others how we want to be treated.
Yeah.
It's about seeing them through a lens of love and recognizing their inherent worth, just like our own.
This is some serious mind-expanding stuff.
It is.
So we've got atonement, the cosmic control-alt-delete for our mental missteps.
Oh.
Miracles, those little sparks of kindness that remind us we're all secretly superheroes. And forgiveness, the ultimate perception cleansing, desert quenching act of love.
Beautifully summarized.
Oh.
It's all about shifting our perspective, recognizing our inherent worthiness, and choosing to act from a place of love and forgiveness.
This is blowing my mind a little bit. It's like A Course in Miracles is handing us the keys to a brand new reality.
Yeah.
Where anything is possible.
That's the beauty of it. It invites us to step outside our limited perceptions and embrace a world filled with love, connection, and infinite possibility.
Wow, this is definitely a deep dive I won't soon forget.
Me neither.
Wait, what?
Welcome back to our deep dive into A Course in Miracles.
Back again.
Before we took a moment to refresh our mental palates, we were marveling at how those everyday acts of kindness, our miracle moments, create ripples that extend far beyond what we can see.
Right. It's like in It's a Wonderful Life, when George Bailey finally realizes the profound impact of his seemingly small acts of kindness.
Right.
We might not always see the full picture.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean those ripples aren't creating waves of change.
Exactly. And A Course in Miracles really emphasizes that we shouldn't get bogged down trying to control the outcomes of these miracles.
Okay.
Our part is to be the pebble to offer that initial spark of love and kindness. Let the universe handle the ripple effect.
So it's less about micromanaging the universe and more about having faith.
Yes.
That those ripples of kindness will reach the shores they need to reach.
That's a great way to put it.
Kind of like sending a message in a bottle.
Yeah.
We trust the ocean currents to carry it to its destination.
It's about surrendering the need to control and embracing a higher power. A wisdom that sees the bigger picture, far beyond our limited perspective. Think Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, calmly stating, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Sure.
If we're not supposed to obsess over the results, then what should we focus on?
Okay.
Should we just be flinging kindness pebbles willy-nilly and hope for the best?
Not exactly willy-nilly, but definitely with intention.
Okay.
The source material encourages us to cultivate a mind that's open and receptive to these miracles. It's about tending to the soil within, so to speak.
Okay.
Creating fertile ground for those sparks of love to ignite and spread.
So it's like being a cosmic gardener.
Yes.
We might not be able to force those flowers of kindness to bloom.
Right.
But we can certainly create the right conditions for growth.
Yeah.
Watering them with compassion, giving them the sunshine of forgiveness, making sure the soil of our hearts is healthy and free of the weeds of judgment.
You're getting it. And just like a gardener might not see the fruits of their labor right away,
Right.
we might not always witness the full impact of our miracles.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean those seeds aren't taking root and growing.
Okay.
Blossoming in ways we might never fully comprehend.
Okay. I'm really loving this gardening metaphor.
Good.
It's making me want to trade my laptop for a trowel and some gardening gloves.
Haha.
So even those tiny acts of kindness, those moments where we choose love over fear,
Yeah.
they're all contributing to something much bigger than ourselves.
Exactly.
Like we're part of a giant community garden.
Yeah.
Each of us tending to our little plot, knowing that together we're creating something beautiful and nourishing.
Exactly. And A Course in Miracles highlights something truly amazing.
What's that?
Even the miracles we're not directly involved in those blossoming in someone else's garden, so to speak,
Okay.
reflect our own inner readiness and willingness to see the world through a lens of love.
Wait a second. How can a miracle happening on the other side of the world be connected to me? Is this some kind of cosmic butterfly effect situation?
Think of it less like chaos theory and more like a giant web of interconnectedness.
Okay.
Every time someone chooses love, every time someone offers forgiveness, it strengthens the entire web, creating ripples of positive change that extend outward in ways we can't always see or measure.
So it's like we're all contributing to this collective reservoir of love and healing, whether we're consciously aware of it or not.
Yeah.
Kind of like how bees pollinate flowers, spreading beauty and life without even realizing it.
That's a beautiful image. It's like we're all part of this grand orchestra, playing our individual instruments.
Yeah.
Maybe not always hearing each other's melodies, but contributing to the overall harmony of the universe. Even if we can only hear our own instrument, our notes are still adding to the beauty of the music.
Okay, that's a truly mind-blowing concept. It's like a cosmic jam session, and we're all invited to play, adding our unique sounds to the mix.
Yeah.
So even if I'm just quietly practicing forgiveness in my own life or trying to be a little more patient with my crazy family, those seemingly small actions are sending out positive vibes that are contributing to this greater good.
Precisely, those vibrations have the power to inspire and uplift others, even if we never witness the direct results. It's about trusting that every act of love, no matter how seemingly insignificant, adds to the overall symphony of healing and harmony.
I love that we're all secret agents of love working behind the scenes to make the world a little brighter.
Exactly.
But earlier we talked about miracles being selective.
Right.
I'm still a little curious about what that means.
Sure.
Does the universe play favorites? Are some people just miracle magnets while others are stuck with cosmic static?
That's a great question. And luckily, A Course in Miracles tackles it head on. It's not about playing favorites, but about recognizing that miracles flow to those who are ready to receive them. Think of it like tuning into a radio station.
Okay.
You have to be on the right frequency to hear the music.
So it's not about the universe withholding good things,
Right.
but more about our own receptivity, our ability to tune into that frequency of love and healing.
That's a great way to put it.
Like if our hearts are closed off to love or we're clinging to resentment and judgment, it's like trying to listen to the radio with the volume turned all the way down.
It's about recognizing that grace is always available.
Okay.
But we have to do our part to cultivate a receptive heart, a fertile ground for those miracles to take root.
Okay.
Kind of how Yoda tells Luke.
Oh, yeah.
You must unlearn what you have learned to tap into the Force.
Right.
We have to unlearn the limiting beliefs and fears that keep us from experiencing the fullness of our connection to this universal love.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together. It's not about passively waiting for a miracle to fall into our laps,
Right.
but about actively preparing ourselves to receive it.
Exactly.
We tend to our inner garden, clear away the debris of negativity,
Yeah.
and then boom, the miracles start blossoming.
Exactly. And it's in that space of receptivity that we become conduits for that love and healing, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us.
Wow.
Think of those superhero origin stories.
Okay.
There's always a moment of transformation, a choice to embrace their powers and use them for good.
So it's like we're all superheroes in training.
Yes.
And forgiveness, kindness, and love are our superpowers.
You don't need a cape, just an open heart.
Sign me up.
It's about recognizing that we have a role to play in this grand unfolding of healing and transformation.
Okay, this is incredibly empowering.
Who's?
But how do we know if we're ready to receive those miracles? What are some signs that we're on the right track?
Okay.
Are there cosmic neon signs we should be looking for?
I wouldn't say neon signs, but definitely some internal cues.
Okay, A Course in Miracles points to a mind that is open, clear, and aligned with love as a fertile ground for miracles.
So it's about cultivating those qualities within ourselves.
Yes.
Instead of getting lost in the mental maze of judgment, we're clearing a path for love to flow through.
Exactly.
Kind of like Marie Kondoing our minds.
Okay.
Choosing joy over clutter.
Exactly. And I think those qualities reflect in our thoughts, words, and actions.
So if I'm constantly criticizing myself and seeing the world through a lens of negativity, that's probably a sign that I need to do some inner work, some mental decluttering to create space for those miracles to show up.
That's right. And on the flip side, if we're actively practicing forgiveness, extending kindness to ourselves and others, and consciously choosing a more loving perspective, that's a good indication that we're creating fertile ground for miracles to flourish.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like choosing to focus on the beauty of a sunflower instead of getting hung up on the weeds growing around it.
We choose where to direct our attention.
Yes.
And that choice shapes our reality.
You're getting It's not about forcing miracles,
Okay.
but about aligning ourselves with love, that higher power, and trusting that miracles will unfold in perfect timing.
Okay.
Like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, we have the power within us all along.
Right.
It's about remembering who we truly are and embracing the journey.
Wait, what?
All right, welcome back for the grand finale of our deep dive into A Course in Miracles.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but my mind is like still buzzing from all these amazing insights about atonement, miracles, the power of forgiveness.
It's quite a journey.
Yeah, it's like we've been handed like a cosmic instruction manual for a more loving and fulfilling life.
It definitely is a perspective-shifting journey.
It is.
And A Course in Miracles keeps throwing out these like mind-bending concepts, like the idea that there's no such thing as a big or small miracle.
Right.
Initially, I was like, wait, how can that be?
I know.
But the more we unpack it, the more it makes sense.
Right. At first glance, it seems counterintuitive.
It does.
Saving someone's life feels inherently more miraculous than, say, holding the door open for a stranger.
Right.
But, of course, in Miracles, it challenges us to look beyond those external appearances.
Yeah.
And tap to like a deeper understanding.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that all expressions of love, whether they appear grand or subtle, stem from the same source.
Okay.
Remember those ripples we talked about?
Right.
It's not about the size of the pebble, but the fact that it creates those ripples of love and healing expanding outwards.
So judging the size of a miracle is like trying to measure the depth of the ocean with a teaspoon.
I love that.
It's just not the right tool for the job.
It highlights the limitations of our ego-based perception. We get caught up in comparisons and hierarchies, forgetting that love is love, pure and simple.
Right.
Whether it's expressed through a heroic act or a quiet gesture of kindness, it's all part of the same universal symphony.
Okay, I'm starting to see the beauty in that.
Good.
It's like saying that a single candle flame is just as valid as a roaring bonfire.
Okay.
They both illuminate the darkness,
Yes.
each in their own unique way.
Precisely. And the source material reminds us that miracles operate beyond the confines of our limited perception.
Okay.
We're so used to thinking in terms of cause and effects,
Right.
but miracles don't follow our linear, predictable rules.
So it's like trying to explain the internet to someone who's only ever used a rotary phone.
Exactly.
They're operating on completely different paradigms.
We can't always grasp the mechanics of how miracles unfold because they're working on a level that transcends our usual understanding.
Okay.
It's about letting go of our need to control and surrendering to a wisdom that sees the bigger picture.
Okay, this is where my inner control freak starts to get a little nervous.
I understand.
Surrendering control goes against everything my to-do list loving self stands for.
Right.
But I see the wisdom in it.
Yeah.
If we're always trying to force things, we might miss the magic that unfolds when we just trust the process.
Exactly. It's about having faith that the universe or whatever higher power resonates with you has a plan that's far more expansive and intricate than we can imagine. Like in the movie Interstellar, sometimes we have to take a leap of faith into the unknown,
Okay.
trusting that there's something incredible waiting on the other side.
Okay, I'm starting to warm up to this letting go thing. But it's definitely a practice.
Yes.
And this brings us back to the importance of forgiveness.
Yes.
Right? If we're holding on to anger, resentment, or guilt, it's like putting up a giant road-closed sign in front of those miracles.
You nailed it. Forgiveness is the ultimate key to unlocking those doors of perception and allowing the miracles to flow freely. It's about clearing out those mental and emotional blockages and creating a space for love and healing to take root.
So it's not just about feeling lighter and less burdened ourselves, but about becoming clear channels for those miracles to flow through us and into the world.
That's a great way to put it.
Kind of like how a clean window lets the sunlight stream in and illuminate the entire room.
Beautifully said. Forgiveness transforms from a personal act of liberation into a profound act of service to the collective.
Wow. My mind is officially blown. We've covered so much ground today.
We have.
Atonement, miracles, forgiveness.
Yeah.
And the realization that we're all like interconnected threads in this tapestry of love and healing.
It is a lot to process.
It is a lot to process. What are some key takeaways you hope our listeners will carry with them from our deep dive?
First and foremost, I hope they remember that they are inherently worthy of love and miracles, no matter what challenges they're facing. There's a spark of divinity within them, a wellspring of love that's always accessible.
And that they have the power to choose love in every moment.
Yes.
To become those walking, talking miracles simply by extending kindness and forgiveness to themselves and others.
Absolutely. It's about remembering that we're all part of something much greater than ourselves. This incredible web of love and connection that spans across time and space.
I love that.
And that every act of kindness, no matter how seemingly small, creates ripples of positive change that contribute to the healing of the world.
This has been an incredible journey. Thank you for being such a wise and insightful guide through this miraculous landscape.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've been inspired to see the world with new eyes, to look for those everyday miracles, and to embrace the transformative power of love and forgiveness. Until next time, keep those kindness pebbles rippling, and remember, you are the miracle you've been waiting for.
Wait.